Hey friends, and welcome back to 4F Beauty. I am doing 3 videos today, 3 of them, because I got a mystery box from the lovely Louise from Avon, and I've used some of the products from that mystery box to produce this very green St. Patrick's Day spring green inspired look. So if you want to find out how I achieved this look and which products are from the mystery box and which products are from my collection of makeup, then you need to get a coffee, get a snack, sit down, and carry on watching. Yeah, okay, you ready? Little song just before we start. When will I be YouTube famous? And yeah, I've sung that 3 times now for all 3 videos. My neighbours must think I am going around the twist. They might be right. Here's your tutorial. Hey, welcome back from the intro. Right, as you can see, I've got my foundation and concealer done, and it's the Avon foundation that I'm trying out from my mystery box. And I've got to the stage where I'm about to powder it with this. And as always, tap it out into the lid. I keep an empty e.l.f. Loose powder tub for this so it doesn't go everywhere. And then any excess that I don't use just goes back into the pot, and then I don't waste any. I'm just going to get this concealer set before it creases too much, because it is a really, really creamy concealer. You'll need to watch the foundation review to see that. So how's your day been? Are you at the start of your day? You're watching me over your breakfast with your cornflakes? Are you doing your makeup? Or is it quick afternoon catch up, sneaky watch during your lunch break? Let me know, when do you watch me? I'd love to hear back from you and let me, find out what time of day most of my lovely subscribers are watching, and my lovely viewers. And if you're watching me and you haven't subscribed, why not? It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. Right, now I'm going to use my travel kabuki and push this powder into my nose, because I do have oily combo skin and my nose and foundation are mortal enemies at the best of times. So we'll see how it fares through the day. I will admit I used to use an Avon powder foundation in the 90s when I first started work. I literally used to just conceal the dark circles, chuck a bit of powder foundation, a bit of mascara, a bit of lip gloss, and out the door. I've only really been into makeup for the last sort of like 2 or 3 years, I suppose. No, I suppose it's a bit longer than that really. I first got into it when I decided I wanted to do my own makeup for my wedding, because I thought it would help calm me down, and because, no offence to people that do bridal makeup, because I'm guessing you're doing whatever your clients asked for, but why do all brides look the same? Pale pink or peach lipstick, and then usually a brown or a grey, ever so light smoky eye. And that's not what I wanted, because that wasn't. I'm known for, when I go out, of having either really strong eyes or really strong lips, and specifically I've been known for red lipstick. I was always, oh, here comes Bomber, look, what shade red is she wearing today? Since Jeffree Star, it's now a case of what colour is Bomber going to be wearing today? Is it going to be purple? Is it going to be blue? Is it going to be green? Or is it going to be one of my old faithful reds? This powder's going on quite nicely over this. It's not catching or anything, so that's good. But yeah, so I did my own makeup for the wedding. And I had purple smoky eye. Very subtle purple smoky eye and bright red lipstick. Because that's what I was known for. I'm going to use my Barry M Afterglow Light Bronzer. You all know this is my favourite bronzer. It's just such a nice one for when you've got pale skin with a cool undertone. It really is, you know, just the right colour. It doesn't go too orange. I know that looks horrendous, that line on there, but I promise you in real life it doesn't look quite that unblended or quite that dark. The joys of having an LED light as well as daylight and a high def camera in front of you. Well, I think I say that in a lot of my videos, don't I? Well, apparently I'm meant to be getting the snow back this weekend. Deep joy. Which means that everybody in the vicinity will be stripping the shelves in the supermarket of bread and milk. Why bread and milk? I mean, the bread I get because toast, sandwiches, baked beans on toast, it's a good staple. But the milk, I mean, I suppose if you drink a lot of tea or coffee it makes sense, but I just have visions of all these people having, like, you know, bread and butter pudding for weeks because I've got to use up all the bread they bought. Right, that's the brush that I use for my bronzer. I use a more tapered one for my blush. Now, the blush I'm going to use today is actually the first Tarte blush I ever bought, and it's in the shade Exposed. You can see how much I've used it. The actual pattern has completely disappeared, but it is just such a beautiful pale pinky mauve, or mauve as the Americans would pronounce it. But it is actually the colour that I go when I blush, which, yeah, I don't do that as often as I used to. I used to be highly embarrassed at many different things, and now I'm just like, eh, whatever. Now, as always, I promise you this looks so much more blended and not anything like as clown-like as it is looking in my viewfinder right now. High def cameras. Okay, time for brows. I forgot what they were called for a minute. Good lord, I'm having a bad morning. Right, clean spoolie just to brush through them. Get any excess powder, excess foundation out. Yeah, there's a little bit of mascara right on the end of that because I had to get rid of a clump that I had in my eyelashes yesterday. And then I'm going to go in with my usual Essence pomade pencil. I do really, really like these. They're such a nice formula. They're just that little bit softer, and they stay a little bit softer, which means that you do have the option of kind of pushing them around a little bit, which means you do get a more natural looking brow. I'm just going to follow the shape of my brow. And then using little short, light movements, I'm just going to colour it in basically. I'm quite lucky, my brows are slowly getting back to themselves after all the over plucking in the 90s and the medication that made them fall out a few months ago. Honestly, one of the pain meds I was on was making my hair really fall out to to the point I was tempted to do a Skunk and Nancy or a Brittany and just get the husband's clippers and go, right, number 2 all over. I always said that. I always said if ever I was ill and had to have medication that would mean I'd keep waking up to hair on my pillow in the morning, I'd rather just shave it all off in one go and be in control of it. Mind you, if we do get that snow they're promising us for the weekend, it'd be a bit cold, wouldn't it? Fortunately, the GP changed the meds I was on. A different med. It's not quite as strong, which is why I get more bad days now than I did before. But at least my hair's not falling out. So you can see it's just a little bit there to frame the eyes. And as always, I'm going in with my Benefit Ready Set Brow. And as I always say, you do not have to use the expensive stuff. This was a freebie on the front cover of a magazine that I got. It was either Cosmo or Glamour, one of the two. I specifically picked the magazine up because I wanted to try this. Do you ever do that? See the freebie on the front of a magazine and think, oh, do you know what? It's worth the sort of £2 or £3 to buy that magazine just to get that freebie. I subscribed to Cosmo for a year to get a free Kat Von D tattoo liner and the reformulated liquid lipsticks. And it was a reduced price as well. It's only, I think it was £12 for the year, so it worked out like £1 a month. And I'm like, oh, get in. Right, what I'm actually going to do at this point, I'm going to use my setting spray to help meld all these powders together and just set this down a little bit, because I do have to go out later. So I'm going to try and give this makeup as good a chance as possible of still being there. Very Peter Man with my fan. Boost! Do you ever watch him? Oh, the man's so funny. Always makes me giggle. Okay, the look I'm going to do today is actually a green one, because obviously St. Patrick's Day and the Irish flag are being green, white and orange, or orange, white and green, whichever way you want to say it. I feel the need to do a green look. And the palette I'm going to use is this one by W7 on the rocks. This, very similar to this Revolution one, is a dupe for Subculture. But this one, Rugby Reactions, actually looks more like Subculture. It's got the smaller square pans. And it's got a mirror, which obviously that one doesn't. Yes, this one costs a wee bit more. But you just got to decide for yourself which one is going to be best for you. Again, I will try and annotate on the screen either up here, or I might put it down here actually, so that when I'm close up you can see it better. I might stick it down in that corner today. But I'll annotate which shades I'm using, but they are all named, as you can see, so I will tell you the name of them as I use them as well. So let's bring you in a wee bit closer. There we go. As always, I've got my colour switch for changing colours, and I'm gonna, yeah, that's really stained from the red that I used the other day, but even if I whack it across the colour switch you can see it's still stained. So that's going to have to wait for my deep clean before I can get rid of that, hopefully. Right, I'm going to start off with a shade called Cheers, which is a nice taupey shade, which we're probably not going to see a huge amount of once I'm done. But I do find that powders from the same palette do blend better on themselves than on the powder that I've set my eyelid with. Now, those of you who have watched any of my videos will know what's coming next. When I look straight ahead, you can see all of my mobile eyelid here, which means that I don't have a hooded eye. If you don't see all of that, then you either have a half hooded or a total hooded eye. It doesn't mean that you cannot follow this tutorial. All you need to do, with your eye open, take a pencil brush and just sketch where you would need your crease colour to be. So where my crease colour is here, because I can just follow my eyeball, yours would need to come up to about here probably. Alright, so to start with, we did windscreen wiper. And yes, because I'm old and my eyelid moves, see, I get a nice little bit there that hasn't got any colour on. But we fix this by doing a helicopters. No, not that kind of helicoptering. Don't be dirty. Right, hold your brush at the very end so you're putting as little pressure as possible on your eye. And then just do, and I've not put any more colour on this brush, just do little circular movements, first one way, then the other, slowly moving up the eye to draw that colour up. Now I normally stop about 5 or 6 mils below my brow because I like to put a brow highlight in, so about the width of a brush normally I tend to stop. Alright, so you can now see we've covered that bit and continued it. Now the trick with blending is you keep going until your hand gets tired and then you go a wee bit more. Because you can see, although this looks quite a light shade, once you get it on your eye, you do get some depth of colour to it. I do like these W7. I've got a couple of their foundations actually that I really like, and they've got quite a few of these sort of dupe palettes. They've duped Modern Renaissance, and they've also got dupes for the most of the Naked palettes. They've got dupes for, because I know I've got a few of those. And they've also just done one which they call Blazing, which obviously is the dupe of the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. Vibro Fog is really kicking in this morning, folks. Right, so there we go. That's both eyes with our transition shade done. Now I'm going to go in with some green. So I'm going to start off with Martini Olive. Oh yeah, that's got to be done, hasn't it, really? Martini Olive. Can't beat a nice olive. And we just, still with the same brush, but I've colour switched it to put this green on. I'm going to repeat what I did before, but I'm not going to take this colour quite as high. Obviously I'm going to go for quite a dramatic smoky eye, because if you're going out on St Patrick's Day or St Patrick's evening, you're probably going to want quite a nice smoky look, because St Patrick's Day in 2018 falls on a Saturday. God bless you. Although, God help the people that are working in retail and have got to go to work the next day. Ooh, one too many Guinnesses. Ooh, it's going to make Sunday shift difficult. So you can see that's blended really, really nicely into that first taupey colour that we laid down. So we're just building up depth. Don't forget, you can still follow this tutorial if you've got hooded eyes, because all you need to do is move your crease up, whereas I follow, so I'm having to wiggle because I'm quite a bit pain, where I can just follow the shape of my eyeball. You just start it from here, and you'd start your windscreen wiper here and then blend up. You may find if you've got a hooded eye and quite a short distance between where your crease is going to be in your brow, you might need to use a slightly smaller blending brush. I'm quite lucky. I've got a lot of space between here for blending colours, so I can go in with really quite a fluffy brush at this stage. I might actually put a pop of Juvia's in this because they've got a beautiful green in that. Right, to clean that off, and now I'm going to get my pencil brush. I'm going to go into Caracal. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a deep kind of Sherwood foresty green. And I'm just going to sketch it out across my crease there, and then about a third of the way along the lash line, and just really gently colour that corner in. And then I'm going to get a slightly smaller fluffy brush like this. This is a Real Techniques one. Just dip the very tip of the bristles. Maybe you can see that. Just got the very tip of the bristles in that colour. Pop it at the edge there and give it a waggle. Waggle on the top lid, wiggle on the bottom one. And we're doing very, very short windscreen wipers all across that crease because we don't want to take the colour up, we want to keep it in the crease. We're then going to do little circular helicopters, again just along the crease line, we're not taking it up at all. Okay, and then just gently smoke that outside corner, just blend it nicely. Okay, so you can see we've got a real nice depth of colour there now. I really must get around to doing my false lash tutorial for you as well, because this would look awesome with lashes on, but as I haven't done it yet, I won't suddenly appear with lashes on and you go, how the blooming hell did you do that then? Where's the tutorial? I promise, in terms of my mini tutorials, the false lash one is the next one that's going to be coming out. The first one that came out was the liner. So if you haven't already watched that, pop over and have a look. Right, I'm now going to do exactly the same thing in this eye. You can see I'm getting a little bit of fallout there, but we can deal with that in a minute. Never panic. It's just makeup. If it goes wrong, you can always take it off and start again. Okay, now I'm going to take all the colour off of this brush. I'm going to get my big fluffy brush, because I will admit that is bugging me, and just sweep that fallout away. If it's stubborn and doesn't want to go, and then dip the tip of your bristles in some translucent powder. You'd be surprised how quickly it decides it's then going to go away. Just like you want it to. I mean, obviously you can do your eyes first if you want, but I'm doing a foundation review today as well, so I needed to get that laid down first. You can lay powder under your eyes to catch fallout, but that does then bake your concealer on, which if you are older than 22 can emphasise under eye crinkles if you have them. Right, so I've taken all the colour off of this, so I'm not adding any extra colour, I'm just going to gently buff the very edge of that dark green to blend it into the colour underneath. See? Just so we get a nice seamless transition between the two. Not doing a cut crease really today, so we just want a nice gentle blend between the two colours. Ah, if you have headphones on, you might want to turn your volume down for this bit. Sally, wake up! Wake up! Okay, you can turn your volume back up again now, headphone users. So one of my friends was saying she finds my voice so soothing she ends up falling asleep. So I said I'd promise to try and shout at her to wake her up. So I hope that's woken you up, Sally. See, I didn't forget. Right, I'm now going to put some colour underneath my eye. I'm going to go back into, I think I'll go back into that Martini Olive on this flat brush. And just put that right underneath the bottom lashes. Take it about 2/3 of the way along the bottom lash line. And I'm going to do the same this side. Clean that brush off. And then, why is it I can never find the brush that I'm looking for? There it is, buried it. I do randomly sing at you as well. I'm half Welsh, we sing a lot. I'm going in for this colour and I'm going to pick up Bellini or Pina Colada. I think Bellini. I'm just picking it up on the tips of the bristles there, look. And we're going to gently run that along that bottom green. Right up to the inner corner there. Just to gently soften and smoke that line out. You do need to be careful with the colours that you put underneath your lashes, that you don't end up looking like you've got conjunctivitis, but these colours work really nicely together under the eye. And it just has a wee bit of brightness under there. If I show you there is a wee bit of kick up on these, but not a huge amount. And as you can see, what fallout there is dusts off quite easily, really. Right, I'm now going to grab my Juvia's Zulu palette because I am going to go in for that beautiful green. Right in the middle there, look. Look at that. I'm going to use this same brush that we used to smoke the bottom lash line out with. I'm going to put it on the... Doesn't that just make you think of gorgeous spring grass? And I'm going to spray just a little bit of fixing spray on it, so it goes on wet or damp. And that does just increase the impact with a shimmer shadow. This is not foiling the shadow. You will hear a lot of people say, oh, foil your shadow, spritz your brush. This is not foiling your shadow, this is applying it wet. To foil the shadow, you would need to scrape some off onto onto a flat surface, and put some mixing medium on it and mix it to like a paste or like a liquid. That is foiling your shadow. This is just applying it wet. But you can see how gorgeous that green is. Such a beautiful colour. As I said before, Juvia's being a black owned makeup brand. If you're looking for colours with pigment, try and look for a black owned makeup brand, because obviously their pigments are designed to be seen on people of colour, people with darker skin. So generally the pigments will be stronger, they'll be brighter, and personally I find at least they last longer on my eyes than shadows that are aimed at everybody. See? Now how pretty is that going to be for a St Patrick's party? Gorgeous. I would do an Irish accent, but I don't want to offend anybody. Okay, I'm going to go into another W7 product now. This is their prismatic 3D, they're calling them highlighting palette for eyes and face. Now, if this looks familiar to you, it's because it's a bang-on dupe for the Kat Von D Alchemist palette, except it doesn't have a mirror here. But it does have the same green, blue, purple and peach shades. So we're going to go into this green one here with a little brush and put a pop of that in our inner corner here. Oh, look at that! Stunning! It's definitely a green look today. And then I'm going to use a little bit of that just up under the brow bone there. Not too much. And I will be going over it in just a minute with some white, so don't panic about suddenly having a green stripe under your brows. Okay. Where's my Jeffree Star? Because you all know that I love Jeffree Star's highlighters, or skin frost as he calls them. They make your skin look wet, which I just love. So I'm going to go in with Ice Cold, which is his white one. And it looks like that, as you can see. It's got quite a dent in it. I've made quite a hefty ploughing. This was my favourite until they brought out the Uranus or Uranus in the second Manny collab. So I'm just going to go over that green just with a little bit of white, and you can see that just tones that green down just a fraction. If you don't want to use the green, you can just use the white up there. But you know me, if I do something, I do something. A bit of white on our Cupid's bow just here. You don't have to do that. A lot of people don't like doing it because they think it makes their top lip look sweaty. It's entirely up to you whether you do that or not. I like to because I find it just emphasises the nice little Cupid's bow. Using the teardrop shape brush, because although his skin frosts are powder, they are very, very creamy, and if you use a fan brush, they do tend to get a hard pan. So you need a firmer packed brush to be able to pick them up. You probably will still get hard pan on them, but you'll still be able to pick colour up without having to keep doing the old sellotape trick. of getting the hard pan off. So, nose, chin, a little bit up on her temple, because why not? And then we do our cheek. You can see what I mean there, but it just looks wet. Such a beautiful formula, it really is. Obviously, you don't have to put as much highlighter on as me, but I like to glow not just to the gods, I like to glow enough to blind them so they can't see what I'm up to. It also deflects the haters off quite nicely. You know, Wonder Woman had her bullet repelling bracelets. I have my hater repelling highlight. Now, on top of this, and this truly is optional for those of you who are perhaps not as adventurous or not as mad, whichever adjective you feel more appropriate. But I'm going to go in with some mint condition, which is Jeffrey's green one. Now, I'm going to pick up a little bit and just gently buff that over the top of the white. Not too much, or you're going to look like either Shrek or like you're feeling very unwell. But this is just enough that when the sunlight hits it just right, you just get that little bit of green glow there, see? As I said, the green highlighter truly is optional. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Because this is one of the ones that now when you look forward you can see the slight green here, because it is a more unnatural highlight colour. But you know what, I really like it, so there we go. Right, I'm going to go off camera and do liner and eyelashes, and I am going to be right back. Don't go anywhere now. Hey, I'm back. Black liner, green lashes. I used the 17 Tattoo Me liner, but I used the Miss Sporty Fabulous Lash Extreme Green mascara. Because, well, if we're going to go green, we might as well do it the whole hog. I was actually going to use a Jeffree Star lipstick as liner, but I didn't want to detract from this really beautiful Juvia's. So, the last thing we're going to try from my little Avon mystery box is this Fuchsia Flash Colour Trend Vinyl Lip Gloss. Doesn't really go with the green, but you know what? Who cares? We're having fun. So let's zoom it in a wee bit. Okay, it's one of these sort of squeezy jobs. Oh, look at that. Oh, it smells like strawberries. for a gloss. This is really pigmented. And it's not a sticky gloss, thank goodness. I do hate those glosses that sort of gum your lips together. Let's zoom me back out again. Wow, that certainly packs a punch. I like this a lot. Right. Don't go anywhere. It's setting spray time. Are we ready to liberally douse our face in setting spray? In that case, let go. Most people would stop here. I'm not most people. Okay, I'm extra, but I like my makeup to, say it with me, stay put. Alright, so just help dry that setting spray a little bit. Plus, for some reason, it's really, really hot in my kitchen today. Alright, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna do something with this Barnet. I'm gonna be right back. There we go. Well, I've done something with it. Right, so there's your St. Patrick's Day bright spring green tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, perhaps you'd like to hit that like button for me and press subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, click that notification bell, and then YouTube will tell you every time I upload a new video. Alright, take care. Bye for now.